Hey, my lovelies. So, who's up for doing some bling 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 today? Because, yeah, I am. And we're going to be using Born Pretty's new Rhinestone glue gel. And this is, yeah, you got to have this stuff. I'm telling you. But first off, we are going to put some cat eyes on these swatch sticks so we have kind of a color base and make it a little more fun to play with the gel glues. So I am going to be using the 3 of the new Born Pretty cat eyes that I received. If you haven't already watched that video, go back and watch that video because y'all, these colors, wow, you are definitely going to want them. They are absolutely mouth-watering and to drool over. I am telling you what. So while I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and tell you about the Rhinestone glue gel, a little bit about it. First off, this is a super easy adhesive to use. I'm going to use it a couple of different ways. Now, they do say that you can use it as a chrome gel glue, which I did not try because I was actually this video is longer than what I normally like to put out. Normally I like to keep between 20 and 30 minutes, and it was already 35 minutes, so I will leave doing chrome powder with this glue gel another time. Because you know, if you watch me for a while, that I do a lot of chrome designs, so that will be another opportunity to try this out with chrome powders. So yeah, we are basically going to do some bling itself because I want to test out. They say that this adhesive is super strong, and it is, you know, it's easy to work with, and it is supposed to be non-slip, which means when you put your gems on before you cure them while you're still doing your design, hopefully this will prove true with this glue gel, that the gems and what have you, the charms, what have you, that you're putting on your nail do not slide around, so that when you cure, it stays in place and you don't wind up with charms that have slid when you go to cure them and they're not where they're supposed to be. So we're going to test that out and see how well this does. So this is a no wipe, easy to operate, dust free with a no slide. It's not really fluid, but it's not really super hard like some gels, you know, like the gels that you can mold around. It's not like that. It's more liquidy, but it's super strong, and it's versatile, which means it can be used for sculpting. It can be used for chrome, which we discussed. It can be used for bling, and I'm sure if you're like me and you're creative, you can find many other uses for it as well. So once I get going, you will see me do a couple of things. I will not only apply the gel, and then I will apply the bling or the charms or what have you, but then you'll see me sometimes put the swatch stick down before I cure it, and because I want to see how long it will sit before my charms or bling will start to slide away. Because you know how before you ever get a design done with your bling or charms, half the time, by the time you are halfway done, your charms, what have you, have already slipped and slid somewhere else where you didn't intend them to be, and then you have to go back and fix that. So I wanted to test out and see just how much they would slip and slide. And you see how well packaged this was. I had kind of a little bit of a struggle trying to get the safety lid off, but I did eventually get it. And here I'm just showing you that it's not a solid glue gel. It is somewhat liquid, but you see it stays in place. It wasn't running. It wasn't going anywhere. So let's clean this off, and we will start with the first design. I'm going to leave these simple. I didn't really have any design in mind. Just, I wanted to demonstrate how well this stuff works with some very, with an array of goodies that you might want to put on top of your nails. So first off, I'm going to get some of these pearls and maybe some gems, and then we'll start with the first one. So the first design I'm going to do is, I'm going to do it a way I don't normally do bling on nails. I am going to take the glue gel and I'm going to spread it all over the entire nail with a brush. Yeah, I've seen some of my other nail sisters do this. I don't normally do this on a regular basis. Normally I only put the glue gel where I intend on putting a gem or a charm, and then go from there. But this time I'm good. I wanted to see how well this leveled out before I even really got going. So I'm going to smear it all over the whole swatch stick, and then we will start placing our gems. But I will show you it. This stuff is very, very thick, and it does level out. However, it does take some time. So by the time I was done doing my actual design with the pearls and the charm, or the rhinestone, it had finally leveled out. So it does take a while to level out. So keep that in mind. Just a word for thought, because if you're doing your bling this way, you're definitely going to want to let it sit for a minute and level out before you cure it. But no worries, because your gems and your charms are not really going to slide, at least to what I experienced. In all, I was really, really happy with the way that they stayed in place. And I even waited probably longer than you would normally wait to see if they would slide before I cured them. So, and even though it is thick, you can still move around. See, it's not going anywhere. It's not sliding. It's not moving. It's staying right where I placed it. Anyway, so I am going to put these pearls, half pearls, around in a little design, and I am going to purposely not put them in necessarily in the right design in the final position, and then I'm going to try to slide them around to see how easy it is to slide them around. And it was pretty easy to slide them around. Now they do want to stay where they're at. However, it does give you just enough leeway to move them around and adjust them if you feel you want to. So that was pretty cool, because I know sometimes we don't always get them placed exactly where we want them to on the first try. So we scoot them around until we're happy with where they're at. Anyway, I am going to let you watch, and I will jump back in here in a few minutes. Okay, so you see where I am just adding and adding and adding, and I'm trying to see how much I can add before these pearls start to slide around. And y'all, I was very impressed. They did not slide around on me at all. They stayed exactly where I put them. So that was really nice, because I don't know if you've had the problem before, but I definitely have. especially with things like caviar beads. And we are going to do some caviar beads on another swatch stick, a whole caviar bead design, so that you can see how easy. And really, I just kept adding and adding and adding caviar beads, and until I just got kind of sick of it. So you'll see that design. That'll be, I think, the last design that we do. Okay, so here we have placed all of our bling how we want it, and I am just going to let it sit here for a few minutes and not cure it and see if anybody slides around on us. And I do believe I waited probably 4 or 5 minutes. I went and fixed myself a cup of coffee and all that good stuff while I waited. So I'm going to go ahead and check and see if anything has moved, and nothing has moved. Slide anywhere. It's exactly where I placed it. So we're going to go ahead and cure it. It does have a tacky layer, that tacky inhibition layer. So I am going to go ahead and top coat this real quick. And I think that inhibition tacky layer is why it works for chromes and powders too. But like I said, we didn't do that for this video. We'll do it in another video because, y'all, the video was long enough. And I don't want you to have to sit and wait through an hour-long video just to watch me play with chrome or whatever. I think 30-minute videos are pretty close. It's kind of like my personal limit. I have a hard time sitting and paying attention to videos after about 30 minutes. So yeah, that's me. So I try to do that for you as well. So as you see, and I think I'm going to show you here in just a minute, that glue did level out very nicely while I waited. And it went on smooth, because we want smooth nails. We don't want lumpy bumpy nails. We want the smooth. And here I am trying to see if I can pop off any of the gemstones or the pearls, and y'all, they stayed on. They were not going anywhere. So it says that it has a 60-day wear. So I have not worn these for any extended time, so I will have to probably test that out at a future date. But normal wear and tear, sometimes they pop off. I don't think that that's going to be a problem with these at all, because when I applied pressure to them, and like if you hit on the side of a table or something and your nail and something pops off, these didn't. So I was pretty impressed with that. So next thing we're going to do is I don't know if it's still a popular thing, but I know like a year or two ago, doing the big gem clusters was definitely a trending thing. I don't know if it still is, so let me know if you're still doing clusters of stuff. But I am going to do a cluster and see how well it holds. And of course, we're going to see if any of the cluster moves before I'm finished. And I'm going to do the whole cluster without curing. And that's going to be kind of see if anything slides around, moves around without me wanting it to. And I'm going to try to do this whole cluster in one swoop without doing any curing. And y'all will see, nothing moved. It stayed exactly where I put it until I moved it. So I was pretty impressed with that. So I'm going to let you watch this, me create this cluster, and then we will be back for the third nail. I think I did forget to mention that the gems I'm using are the pointy back crystals, so they're not the flat back crystals. Just thought I'd mention that because sometimes those pointy back crystals are a little bit hard to deal with. They want to slide around, and they don't stay in the direction or the position that you put them in. So it's why I wanted to try it with this, because I wanted to see if those pointy back crystals would move at all, and they didn't. So Okay, so we are done with the cluster and we've done with the basic bling nails. And now for the true test, at least in my opinion, the true test of a good rhinestone glue is caviar beads. And if you know, you know. Caviar beads can be an absolute nightmare at times because I don't care where you put them, what you do with them, 9 times out of 10, they are going to slide around on you and they're going to move. And then you're going to wind up with a caviar bead where it's not supposed to be, and it's going to ruin a whole design. So, for me personally, the true test of a non-slide rhinestone glue is going to be caviar beads. So that is what we're going to do here, and I am just going to keep adding onto this design until I just absolutely just get bored with it, and I finally I've had enough. I don't want to add anything else. So this one is not so much the design as to see if those caviar beads start sliding on me at any point during the design. I am not doing any curing. I am just doing the whole design, and then I'm going to cure it all at one time. So there's no curing in between laying the different caviar bead lines. So it is all in one I don't know what you call it, action, one try. So I am going to let you watch, and keep an eye on those caviar beads. Tell me if you see any sliding, because once I put them in place, they were in place. I didn't do anything else. I put them in place and went on to the next area that I was going to work on. I did not see any sliding at all. And one other thing I did want to mention is that sometimes when you get those cheaper caviar beads that are not necessarily 100% metal, maybe they're plastic and they have like a color coating on them, sometimes you'll see that color coating come off of them, and then your caviar beads will turn clear. And I don't know about you, but that annoys the heck out of me. That didn't happen here. And I think a lot of it was because those caviar beads stayed in place. They didn't slide anywhere, which didn't give them a chance for that finish to come off. So just a little thought there if you've ever had that problem, because I know I have. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let you watch. Let me know what you think of this this rhinestone glue gel. I'm pretty impressed, and I will definitely be using it again. It was only $9.99, and this is enough to last a very long time. So anyway, I'm going to leave my discount code in the description box so you can pick this up for yourself, because it is well worth it, especially if you like to do gems and you've had problems with your gems or popping off, sliding around, charms sliding around before you can cure them, all that good stuff. So I wish I had had this a long time ago, but Born Pretty, you nailed it with this one. Thank you so much. Anyway, I am going to let you watch, and sending love, hugs, and blessings. Until the next time, bye-bye.
Thank you.